The content of this presentation includes expressive leadership, 3 types of organizations, the type of organization I'm involved in, Webster's ideal bureaucracy, and alienation in the workplace. Being an expressive leader, you focus on interpersonal problems in a group, and you work to diffuse the tension between employees. To diffuse a situation between 2 employees that are not getting along, you could separate them and discuss with each of them what their issue is, why they're not getting along, and then work together to find a common ground to where they can work together. And especially if they're higher up in management, you need to stress with them the importance of working as a group so you can show your other employees that even though you may not get along, you can still work together towards a common goal at the business. In these next few slides, I'm going to talk about the 3 different types of formal organizations. You have a voluntary organization, a coercive organization, and a utilitarian organization. And we'll talk about membership and just what makes them different from each other. The first type of organization is a voluntary. Members can join and go as they wish. There's no money required. It's voluntary. When you work towards a goal that y'all are trying to accomplish together, you just when you accomplish it, you can work together to find something else you're passionate about and you want to achieve. And then a lot of people use voluntary organizations just to fill in their leisure time, just a break from the normal life. And a lot of times it's a service to others. Like you go feed the homeless as a group, you go and like shelters for animals and donate stuff to shelters for people who have nothing or people who have lost everything. And some people join to help themselves. Like they just feel they have no purpose. And if they go and help others, they have a new purpose in life. They can help others with, maybe situations they've been through. They can talk to them and help them through stuff. The second type of organization is a coercive organization. People are put into these situations against their will. Like you go to prison, that's considered a coercive organization, or a mental hospital when you've been sent there to get help. But also a mental hospital can be voluntary, but for the most part, I feel a lot of the patients are there because they need to be in, or they've done something that requires help. A lot of these people end up being controlled by the institution. They may lose their sense of self and just fall into the daily life of being in the institution. And at times, new members may go through a hazing. They may get picked on, made fun of, just given a hard time in the beginning until the next new person comes. And then, like before, controlled by the institution, they'll join in on the hazing of the next new person. And it's not really a good part of that type of organization, but I think it's, you do what you can to survive in those types of places. The last type of organization is a utilitarian organization, which people usually join for a practical reason. Universities, that's an organization. You join that to get an education. Labor unions, you become a part of a union with certain jobs. And in the government, there are bureaus and agencies like FBI, that's an organization that you're joining but it's the job that you're applying for, so it's kind of in the middle. Membership is not entirely voluntary, not entirely voluntary, and that's what I meant by, the labor unions. You go and you get this job, and then it's a union job, so you're now part of the union when you were just looking for a job. So you didn't. Some people want to be a part of a union though, so it can be voluntary. People, unions have good benefits, and people want union jobs at times. A lot of these are formed to accomplish vital tasks. Um, you make these, you go to college to join that, you get in that utilitarian organization. Well, you go there to accomplish a task of getting an education so you can go on with the next step in your life, getting a job and meeting your husband or wife and forming a family. So this part was a little bit difficult for me. I couldn't really decide which. I mean, I'm not not in a coercive organization. Um, Voluntary, I couldn't really pinpoint one. But utilitarian, that one kind of fit more of what I thought of. I am a member of the American Association of Critical Care Nurses. Um, you you have a yearly membership fee. You get publications, the latest research, newest technology. You can connect with members throughout the country, compare, your critical care nursing specialty to theirs. And there's conferences, there's all kinds of stuff. I like it. I get to learn about new stuff before, a hospital discusses it, or we may not even be doing that type of practice, or we may be ahead of others. It's neat to be a part of this organization that's nationwide, and I can see what people are doing over on the West Coast or up north, and then they can see what I'm doing down in the Southeast. So it's a good thing to be a part of, and it's a good camaraderie. So with Weber's ideal bureaucracy, if I was running for a public office and I'd had no experience, but I'd helped a friend, and how I would prove it, I would use the experience from helping my friend run for office and use what they did to help better my experience. I would gain votes by reassuring the voters that I I can do this, I can hold this position. I will, show them that, I have strategic plans. I have, stuff set up, according to I'll show them, talked about my education, past work experience, definitely tell them, talk about my college degrees, any past work experience that could help me with this office. Definitely let them know I am accepting this, I'll accept the obligation of the management that comes with the position, and I am open to suggestions, and I will have an open door policy. They could talk to me about anything, but I will hold the people below me to a standard, and they need to be ready to work. So if you're a manager, you do not want your employees to feel like they're alienated. You don't want them to feel like they don't fit in. So if you do notice one of your employees that's kind of standoffish and not socializing, you definitely need to take them away from the group, talk to them, see what's bothering them, ask them if they have any input they want to discuss in private. Discuss any ways to resolve any issues they're having at work, may it be with other people or themselves, and talk about what they're currently working on. See what they're doing, what they're interested in, and if it's a personal issue, just tell them you're there for them, and if they need time off, then they can take it.